Morgan, I'm proud of you. You're beautiful. You don't have to do this perfectly. You're a human being. I'm proud of you. Okay, that was my personal pep talk. And hello. I am here to unkink the hose. Yep. I felt really blocked, and already I'm like wishing I could start over, but I'm not going to start over because I promised myself this is not about perfection. There's no such thing as perfection, and I'm not going to say any of this perfectly, but saying it is the most important thing because we're unkinking the hose. So, as you know, I've been taking a break from social media as I love to do, as I've done for the past 4 years. Regular social media Sabbaths serve my soul. This last time around, I noticed something interesting where the first week or two was very nourishing, very recharging. And then the second, and then the third, and the fourth week, I realized there was something up. There was something up, and I didn't want to come back. I felt a lot of fear and anxiety around coming back to social media. And I started to explore what the heck that was about. Why was I feeling like this? And part of it is because of the deep work that I've been doing, the inner journey I've been on, that a lot of us have been on since the death of George Floyd. And realizing personally, as a white woman, in the wellness space, there's a lot that doesn't sit well with me. And there's a lot that I have not been conscious of that has probably harmed some people, important people, you. Yeah, just like icky, right? That's all we can do. That's all I feel like I can do. So I'm here to unkink the hose, to make what's been implicit more explicit. And I really think I'm probably preaching to the choir right now. So I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this for my daughter. I'm doing this so I can move on and do my work with integrity and serve you at the highest level and be really excited about the work I'm doing in the world. And here's the thing. I can no longer ignore the fact that wholeness, feminine wholeness, this is a very, very epic and grandiose ambition in a lot of ways. And when I began this work, it was pretty small in its focus. You know, I was healing my own trauma, my sexual trauma, and so my focus around feminine wholeness was just that, just trying to experience some healing, some freedom from the sexual trauma, and helping other women experience that too. Sexual trauma and spiritual trauma, and doing the healing work so we can be more embodied, more free, more ourselves. And maybe what you've been experiencing too, if you've been on this journey, the beautiful thing about healing is that it creates more capacity in you. And the hard thing about healing is that you realize there's really no end to the story. There's no end to this onion, these layers that you keep peeling back. And that's part of being human. And one of the tough things I've woken up to the past several months is that I did have a very sneaky, subtle, unconscious belief that if I did enough wholeness work, somehow I would arrive and I'd be done. And if I did the work right, then somehow I would be made perfect. And that's what wholeness is in some way, is just the end of the inner work journey. And now I know, like, oh no, there's no end. There's just deeper into the rabbit hole. So this beautiful woman I met over the weekend who has an incredible story, and whose story I hope to bring so you get to learn her story in the future. She said something about trauma that I'm reminded of in this moment. She said, if you've experienced trauma and then healed that trauma, now you have power. Trauma, once it's healed, is power. And each one of you who are on this journey of feminine wholeness, whatever that means to you, as you heal your big T and little t traumas, you have more and more power, more and more capacity, and you get to choose what you do with that power, what you do with that spaciousness inside, what you do with that vision, what you do with your energy. And man, the thing that I'm realizing is it's not really that satisfying to just like peace out and go on vacation and just be contained, be independent in your wholeness. If wholeness is really doing its work in you, it's going to create a larger vision for what's possible. And when I say it's inconvenient, it really does feel inconvenient, because there are these different parts of us. At least there's these different parts of me. And one part of me just really does want to withdraw from the world and the chaos in the world and the news and everything that's happening in the world, from the politics to the pandemic to the social unrest. There's one part of me that just wants to be so self-contained and so independent and not think or worry or know what's going on out there, and just focus on my self-help, on my personal development. And I realized for many years of this work, that is how I've been. I definitely operated from a place of what's been coined white fragility, and really believing that I was fragile, easily overwhelmed, and I really want to speak delicately here. I don't want to shame myself. I don't want to shame anyone out there. I don't want you to feel bad if that's where you are right now, if it just feels like it's too much. Everything out there is too much, because it is too much in some ways, right? There's a freaking lot going on. But I also am experiencing and noticing that there is a greater capacity growing in me, and to continue believing that I am fragile, that I am frail, that I am easily overwhelmed and can't handle things, is to deny the power growing in me, which is able to hold attention, able to show up in bigger ways, able to be in the mess and the discomfort and the difficult conversations. And that's actually what I desire. I cannot stomach, I do not want, it makes me nauseous to think of a feminine wholeness brand, to think of my work being isolated to just self-help, to just another white woman's wellness brand project that really does more harm than good in the end. And what I desire and what I really believe is for wholeness to touch everybody, for whatever I do to experience more of my own wholeness and to show up in the world from that place of wholeness, and whatever I do to equip other women to do the same, that is a very felt, visceral ripple effect in our families, in our communities, and in the world. So that's a big desire. And my desire and my conviction on how important that is far outweighs my education and my experience, especially as it relates to anti-racism. I'm not an anti-racism educator by any means. My goodness, it's embarrassing even to just use that phrase as if the work that I've been doing in the past 3 months would equip me in any way. But I do see, and I'm a big sister to you. And I have been doing work in this area because it's important to me, and it's something I don't know enough about. And so I've been working with leaders who can help me grow as an active, practicing anti-racist, and to help me grow in a way that is sustainable so I can be here for the long haul. So this video is for me just to making that known, because it's so important to me, and to unkink the hose so I can continue on doing what I do, but doing it in a way that feels more integral to me. And I need you to know that that's what this work is about. And in a poetic way, what this work is about, feminine wholeness, is reclaiming the beauty lost along the way. Reclaiming your beauty. Reclaiming the beauty of being a woman. Reclaiming the beauty of being human. Reclaiming beauty with the capital B that's been lost along the way of 5,000 years of patriarchy, 400 years of racism in my country, and however many decades I've been alive, you've been alive, dimming our light as women, dimming our full self-expression and our wholeness. So to reclaim the beauty along the way that's been lost along the way, that's what I'm here for. And it doesn't stop with just me. And it doesn't stop with just people that look like me. And it doesn't stop with just my kids or my family. It's meant for all of us. It's meant for all of us. So I'm gonna be just staying open to how we can do that, how I can do that better. And I wanna say, if you're here and you are a woman of color, I'm really honored. I'm really honored that we could share presence, that we can share our energy, that we can share our experience in a way that nourishes and blesses one another. And if you're here and you look like me, you're a white body person, then I want to invite you into a really exciting journey. That sounds kind of scary, but here's what it is. You know, wholeness, reclaiming wholeness work, a big part of it is undoing white supremacy. And I know that sounds like, what? Where do we even begin? I'm not the one to teach you, but there are great teachers out there, and I highly recommend this book to begin. My grandmother's hands, Resme Menniken's work, and to start there. But I definitely think that there's a connection between why we feel so broken, why we cannot connect to the wholeness we are inside, and the fact that there's this idea of supremacy operating in our culture, in our country, and it's hurting, it's trauma, it's hurting Black bodied people, and it's hurting white bodied people. And so a part of this big grand project of feminine wholeness is undoing this icky, toxic thing that is not your fault, and you've been handed, that we've been handed. It's part of our ancestral healing work, but it is our responsibility now to extract it, remove it from our system, so that we can really show up in a way that feels, that not only feels whole, but is more whole. And we can really leave the world a better place than we found it. So already what's happening in my head is like, okay, you sound so out of your league. You don't know what you're talking about. You should delete this video and start again. But I promise myself, this is not about perfection. This is about just showing up messy and showing up imperfect and letting that be okay. So it's really scary. I say all this with a lot of fear and trembling, and also with a lot of joy and delight and knowing what's possible. I need to believe what's possible. So what else do I want to say? I took notes so I wouldn't get too far down a rabbit hole. Yeah, okay, I will get this wrong. I'm sure I've already said a million things wrong. I've said it the wrong way. I've phrased things the wrong way. I've said too much. I've not said enough. I know all that. I'm prepared for all that. And so I'm inviting you to call me in if ever I say something or show up in a way, or I'm doing something that just feels off to you, or just And if you're a woman of color, I know that's not your job, so you don't have to. But I'm just letting everyone know that I'm open for the conversation. And I cannot promise I won't be triggered or embarrassed or all of that. It's really natural for our nervous systems to feel all that. But I can promise you that I will not run away. I am committed to this conversation. I am in it with you. I am in it for as long as it takes. I'm committed. I'm committed. And I'll be learning. I'll be learning a lot. I'm committed to learning a lot, and that's a lifelong journey. Thankfully, I really enjoy being a student. But also, you know, the next part for me is not just keeping the information that I'm learning right here in the head as a concept or idea, but learning how to embody it. That's what this work is all about. Wholeness without embodiment is not wholeness. It's not. So yeah, what I just want to make really clear is that feminine wholeness, if it ever was a thing that was only about self-healing, that's shifting. That is shifting. We got to anchor our journeys in a bigger commitment to humanity. And I think like somewhere we all knew that and we all intended that, but I think it's time just to make it more explicit. Some people call this politicizing our healing. And I'm still learning how to feel like safe with that word, because there's a real strong part of me that doesn't do politics. I'm putting this with quotation because I'm realizing like everything is political. As I learn, I realize it's just such a silly thing, and it was just a part of me. It's that fragile white lady part of me that really loved running away into the excuse of being overwhelmed and being fragile. But I'm seeing clearly now that is not very helpful and not even true. So I'm leaning in, and I'm leaning in a way that my goal is to make this sustainable and to not just peak and then burn out. And, you know, so much I would say. I'm gonna wrap this up soon. This is not gonna be like a 30-minute Unkinking the Hose. God bless you if you're still here hanging there with me. This is really for me, so I can just get back to doing my work, serving women, helping them reimagine the kind of woman they want to be in this world in a way that feels really integral to me, which means like I need you to know where I'm coming from, where my heart's coming from. I need you to know that this is not a self-help journey. This is not just a personal development thing. This is human development. This is about all of us. This is about all of us. It's all connected. It all belongs. There's not any barriers or walls we can put up that says this work over here is feminine wholeness and that work out there in Black Lives Matter is Black Lives Matter, or this work in here is feminine wholeness and that work out there is making the world a better place for the next generation. No, it all belongs. It's all happening. When one of us gets free, all of us gets free. That's what I say every single time I do a hot seat group coaching session, and we feel that. We feel that together. So it's exciting to know that there's more for us to do together. And in order for us, any of us, to really be in this world and get to experience the delight of wholeness, it has to be possible for everyone everywhere, to experience that wholeness, their inherent wholeness as well. So I don't have to tell you that we live in a system that isn't working. It's not working. And I don't think the problems are going to be solved from the top down. I think it's going to be slow going, and it's going to be about each one of us casting the net of our vision so much wider that when we show up for our inner work, we're doing it not just for us and not just for ours and our own, but we're doing it for everybody. So on that note, I have a desire to make the feminine wholeness method and the teachings that I have way more accessible so that everyone can participate. So I would like to start a YouTube channel for feminine wholeness. Is that like totally old fogey now? I'm sorry, but like I just can't figure out what's the one that everyone's on now. My daughter loves it. It starts with a T, I think. You know what I'm talking about, right? It's the one with all the dancing on it. Yeah, I'm old school. I really like YouTube. I like Instagram too. But yeah, one of the things I was thinking is a YouTube channel. That would be a place, a resource for videos on feminine wholeness. So they're available for free, and everyone everywhere can learn from it. That's just one idea I had, and that shall be coming. And some other ideas I have are coming too. One in mind that will help us hopefully get through November, the election season. But to sum it all up, my conviction around anti-racism and getting rid of white supremacy from my body, from my energy field, from the energy field of this country is really strong. And it is far bigger than my education and my experience. So I am not the teacher. I have teachers. I have leaders that are helping me grow and expand and heal in these areas. And I encourage you to find those teachers too. Find those leaders that can help you grow and heal these things that are in desperate need of healing. And feminine wholeness isn't just a self-help journey. It's not just for white ladies. It's not white woman wellness. Feminine wholeness is human development. It's cultural development. It's about everything belonging, everyone belonging. And doing the good work, doing the really good work of reclaiming beauty. Beauty with a capital B. Beauty like the bohemian ideals from the Moulin Rouge. I love it so much. Beauty, truth, freedom, and above all, love. Theodore, oh my goodness, I'm gonna mess this up right at the end. It's been messed up the whole way through, it doesn't really matter. A white guy, unfortunately I don't have a quote or anything but a white guy, of course, but it's a really good quote. Fyodor Dostoevsky said, beauty will save the world. Beauty with a capital B, and I love that idea. I love that idea. And that's what I mean when, I just blanked out because I'm like, of course this whole video and speaking about the importance of anti-racism has to be like celebrated with a white man's quote, please forgive me for that. Please forgive me for that. See what I'm talking about? I'm not gonna do this right, but I'm doing this authentically. I'm doing this from like where I'm at right now. And here's the thing I'll confess. A lot of my background, education, books I've read, training in philosophy has been informed by white men. That's the truth. And so that's something that I am aware of. And that consciousness, I am praying and asking for other teachers. I want other teachers, women of color teachers. So I am meeting you right where I'm at today. And right where I'm at today is that Fyodor Dostoevsky quote, which is beauty will save the world, beauty with the capital B, which is like, this is the work of feminine wholeness. Beauty, which contains all truth, all freedom, all love for all people everywhere. Beauty will save the world. Feminine wholeness is about reclaiming the beauty we've lost along the way. We've lost in 5,000 years of patriarchy. We've lost in 400 years of racism. We've lost in however many decades we've been alive on this planet trying to survive from some other place, but not our wholeness, not showing up in our full self-expression as women. We can reclaim it, and we can reclaim it together. So grace and peace, joy and justice. Thank you. Thank you for being here with me.